Namaste everyone, this is Shrikant Rangdal and welcome back to the day 5 of the faculty development program on effective use of Moodle for NAAC and NBA. So in the first 4 days we discussed a lot of things. The first day we started with introduction and how Moodle can be useful in covering most of the aspects like program outcomes and course outcomes for NAAC and NBA purpose. On the second day, we went through the phase 0 of the Moodle implementation program, wherein we learned how to upload the files directly, notes which are made with manual handwriting, or the notes which we are making on documents or PowerPoint presentations. We learned how to upload these files and make them available to the students. And also we learned how to create assignments so that students can write these assignments either manually or type it down, and then these files the students would be able to upload to the assignments. On the third day, we learned about how to create self-evaluating quizzes by creating question banks and then either creating fixed quizzes with fixed questions or quizzes with randomly chosen questions from the question bank. And on the day 4, that is yesterday, we learned about creating notes and glossaries and how these glossaries can be automatically linked for each term that appears in the notes to the definitions. So in the today's session, we will learn about the different ways in which we can speed up the course creation process by uploading the various files. So let's go ahead and start doing that. So here we are back on our Moodle page, and we are signed in as a new user, and we are present in a new course that we have created for demo purpose. So let's go ahead and learn about these things. So the first upload file that we are going to talk about is for uploading the users. Okay, so in order to upload the users, first we'll have to be the administrator of the Moodle. So this new user is just a teacher or student, so this account cannot be used for uploading the users. So first we'll have to sign in as the administrator. So let me log in again, and this time instead of using a new user, which is the account of a teacher, I will use admin. So only a person who has access to the administrator account will be able to make changes of the users on that site. So only when I sign in as an administrator will I get this extra button at the top. Teachers and students, you don't get this option. Okay, so when I'm signing in as an administrator, I have to go here and I have to go to users. Now this is where in the first day we had learned how to create individual users. So we can either browse the list. So when we browse the list, we will be able to see all the users that are added to this particular Moodle site. Fine, not just to a particular course but to the whole site. So we can see here that there are 239 students as of now, because we are running just this is just a demo of the Moodle and first implementation of the Moodle, and if this is successfully implemented and if the response is positive from all the students for which the courses are created, we plan to move ahead and create user IDs for all the students of the whole college. Anyway, let's come back here, and we had learned how to add a new user in the first class. Fine. When we go for add a new user, we'll have to type in the values one by one. We have to create a username, which is usually the roll number of the student. Then you'll have to give the password, first name, surname, email ID, and all these details. We will have to manually feed it in. Now usually a college has a number of students, hundreds or maybe even thousands of students will be there for the college, and feeding in all these values one by one is going to be a very cumbersome job, and hence we should know a direct method to upload the users. So this is where the upload users file will come into play. So let's go ahead and see how we can upload the users. So we'll have to click on upload users, and here it will ask us to drag and drop the file containing details of all the students. Now here we also have an example CSV file. CSV means comma separated file, wherein which can be opened using a normal notepad, and this is how the file will appear. Okay, so we'll have the headings present at the top. You can see the username, then first name, last name, and email. These are the 4 values given by default, and this demo file that it is allowing us to download. So apart from these, we can also create a column for password, and there are a lot more other columns also that we can go ahead and use. Let me show you some of these. Okay, the file, give me a few minutes. Yeah, so what you see on the screen is a template file which I have created for Moodle, and almost all the file types that we can use for uploading the data to Moodle are present here. Right. So the one that we are currently talking about is the users file. So when we go to the users file, we can see that the headings are available for a lot of different options. So we can put in the username, the first name, last name, email ID, password. Cohort refers to a group of students who will be taking up the same course at the same time. For example, all my students, I'm handling the engineering graphics subject current semester for AIDS students, artificial intelligence and data science students, and there are 2 sections of the students. So all those students need to be added to the same cohort. Fine. So if I want to add this to AIDS, I'll have to type AIDS, and I'll have to change all this column. So okay, so all these students are now belonging to this particular cohort. If I want additional information like which semester they belong to, I can do that as well. So first sem or second sem, or if you want the year data like 2023, I can do that. I just have to copy paste this in all these places. So this will ensure that all the students are added to a particular cohort, and while adding the participants to a particular course, for example, let me come to, okay, my courses will not show anything. Let's go back to mechanical department and to engineering graphics. So if I want to add the participants, I click on participants, I'll be able to see the total list of all the students that are enrolled in this particular course. And if I want to add more students to this, I have to click enroll users. And in the first day, we had seen how to add an individual user. If you know the name or number of that student, you can just go ahead and add the starting few values for that, and the name of the student will appear. You can select that student and enroll it. So this way you can add a single student to the course. But when you want to add a number of students at the same time, we have to use something called the cohorts. And here you can see number of cohorts have been already created. So if you want the list of students to appear in the cohorts, we'll have to use this particular cohort column. So cohort 1, we can use it over here. So same student can be present in number of different cohorts as well. So we can create cohort 1, cohort 2, and so on and so forth, and whichever cohort we assign a particular student to, he'll be added to that particular cohort. So apart from that, we have other data, like we can give a short description about the student, like the background, where he comes from, what are his plus and minus points, and so on and so forth. We can also add the courses to which he should be added by default. Okay, so just by uploading the file, the student will get added to that particular course. Fine. And we can also create groups for the students, like for example, we can make groups of advanced learners and For advanced learners, we can create contents for advanced learning purpose, like they can go ahead for publication purpose, or they can take up a workshop, or attend a course on Swayam portal or stuff like that. And for weak learners or slow learners, we can create another group of activities, right? And the activities which are available for slow learners will not be visible to the fast learners. The activities allotted for fast learners will not be accessible to the weak learners. So this is what the groups will be able to achieve. And you can see we can add in the phone numbers 1 and 2, we can add the address, institute, department, and so on. So there are lots of details that we can add here in the beginning itself. So lots of these will not be used most of the times. So we can just go ahead with these things. Even cohort is something which we can create later, but of course it's always useful to add the cohorts in the beginning itself. So this is how we need to add in all the details of the students, and then we'll have to download this. So extra columns and all we'll have to delete, and then we have to download this as a CSV file. Okay, so that will download the file in the form of a CSV file, which will look somewhat like this. You can see each column is separated by a comma. Each column is separated by a comma, and this file can be easily read by the Moodle when we upload this particular file over here. Okay, so this is the participant, so we just have to drag and drop that particular file over here, and all those users will be created. And once the users are created, they will be available in the list of users. So I don't want to add any new users to this, so okay, so I'll do one thing. I'll just okay, so let's see what happens if that the users are uploaded. Anyway, let's go ahead and upload it, because the users are the same, the IDs are the same. Probably it's just going to update the data for them. So we have to drag and drop this particular file. So this file is saved, I think it's downloaded, so maybe it's present in the downloads. So this is where it is available. So we have to drag and drop it here, and then click on upload users. When we click on that, it will display like this. The status, you can see it is showing duplicate address, which means the student is already present in the database, and we are adding another instance of that. So in such cases, what happens is okay, so we can choose an option from here. We can add only the new ones and skip the users who already exist, and then add all, append the number of number to usernames if needed. If we select this, then these users will be again added. If the user already exists, some number will be added in front of it, like 1, 2, 3, and so on. So this is not recommended, of course, because every college, every university has a unique number allotted to every student. So it's better if we don't add additional copies of the same user to it. So here one thing you can discover is not only can we create new users here, but we can also change the existing users, details of the existing users. So you can just add a new user with limited minimum amount of data required in the beginning, and then as and when the more and more information is becomes available for the students, we can go ahead and continue updating that information in the database. So this was about uploading the users and creating the cohorts. Once the users and cohorts are uploaded, we can easily select them and add them to or else, as it is called, enroll them to a particular course by clicking here and choosing the cohorts from here. Okay, so as of now I have not added these students. I'm just showing them off because I don't want to update these details, and I don't want to create an extra cohort for the students. Already a cohort has been created and the students have been added to the particular course that they were meant to be added to. So I'm just going to cancel that for now. Same way we can upload the number of courses over here. Fine. So adding a category is something which we have to do manually, and then courses can be uploaded directly. Okay, so for uploading the courses there are some different set of headings required, and here we can see we have the full name of the course, and then we have to type the short name of the course. We have to give a short summary about that particular course, and category ID number. Fine. So this category should already be created and should be present on the Moodle site. Okay, so when we go for courses, we had seen an option to create the categories. So in the courses, add a category option you have seen, and if you go for manage courses and categories, we will see all the categories that are present here on the left side, and when we click on a particular category, we will be able to find all the courses present in that category on the right side. Okay, so all these the categories were manually created, an ID was provided to them, and the same ID was used here to create all these courses, and those are appearing on the right side. Okay, so when courses are created by uploading the file the way I'm showing you right now, what happens is the course will be created as an empty course. So many of these courses which are present here are just empty courses. Let me just show it to you. Let's go back to home and go to a 5th SEM category, finance and accounting. Let's open that up, and when I open that up, you can see that there are no contents available in this. Right, so no contents have been added to this. Only an announcement forum is present here, which was also present when we created the course manually. Okay, so this is the default thing which is always added and a new course is created. So when we go for participants, you can see that no participants are also added to this, but we can easily enroll the participants by clicking on enrollment link, and instead of going for users, we can just go for cohorts. So let us say that list of students for 5th SEM is present with us, and we have uploaded all the students names to this cohort. Then we can assign a role to this and click on enroll. Okay, so right now that particular cohort was not having any students present in it, so 0 students have been added. Let's just temporarily add this particular cohort, or it's better if we not disturb it in a great way. Let's go for 3rd SEM. I think these students will not be handling accessing Moodle for some time, so only 17 students are there in that cohort, and you can see that all the students are added here. So now we can come back to the participants, and when we come back, we'll be able to see the list of all these students. If you want some individual students to be removed, or some additional details if you want to edit, you can just do so from here, or if you click on the gear icon, you'll be able to see some additional details which we can control. Right? So enrollment, when does it start? If you want the student to stop accessing this course after a few days, we can do that as well, and all these details we can access from here. So to revise, we just now saw how we are easily able to create list of students and courses, and how we can upload the file, and all these courses and students will be automatically created on our Moodle site. So apart from these, we can also have the other kinds of uploads, like for example the glossary. So adding the glossary terms one by one again becomes a very tedious task, and we might want to create list of the terms and the definitions at a single place and add all these at a single time to the glossary. If you want this to happen, then we'll have to create a glossary like this. So this is a code generator that I was able to develop using some coding skills. And as soon as we type in the term definition and alternate terms, keywords and all, it will generate a code. This code we can copy paste it into a notepad. So let's take a notepad quickly, paste this data. You can see the code is now pasted here, and I can save it. Let me save it as a file on the desktop. So demo glossary, save. So now the file is saved on the desktop, and I can take that file and insert the glossary. So let me just quickly create a glossary over here itself. We can later delete it if needed. So first I have to enable the editing mode, add an activity. Okay, add an activity, go for glossary. So a new glossary will be added here. So let me just create demo, some description, and save and display. Then we can either go ahead and add the entries one by one as we had learned in the last class, or you can just click on import entries, and here we can drag and drop that particular file which we had created. So this file is present over here. Okay, so this file can be dragged and dropped in here. Click on submit, and we can see that the 15 entries have been added to it. Let's click on continue and see what entries were added. So you can see the college name is there with the full form. Then we have name 15, definition 15, name 16, definition 16, and so on and so forth. Fine. So all the entries which were present here, let me hide this. Okay, so name 15, definition 15, name 16, definition 16, all these terms and their definitions along with all the keywords have now been added here automatically, and we can see all the variations of the keyword as well are present here. So this way, this is how we can upload the files, and by uploading the files we can populate all the entries around here. Same way competencies we're not going to cover here. Maybe it'll be covered in some advanced topic later on. Next thing we'll be discussing is uploading of files for question bank. Okay, now question bank we had studied on the day 3 of the faculty development program. That is, we had called it as the phase 1 of implementing the Moodle. So in that we had learned how to create question banks. So let me just go back to the demo purpose course so that the other courses will not be affected. And here let's come back to the question bank. And in the question bank we had seen how we can add questions one by one. Okay, and the process, if you remember, it was very tedious, and there were lots of entries to be made, feedbacks to be given, and there are lots of chances. There are chances that we will end up making a mistake at some other place, and if you don't want these mistakes to happen, I think it's a better way to just upload these files. Now for uploading the questions, the option that we have here is, first we must go to the question bank. Inside the question bank we have an option of importing the questions. So let's go for import question, and then there are so many different formats in which we can import the questions. Fine. So details of all these formats we can get it over here. Just if you click on this question mark, it will take you to the documentation for that particular format. So icon is the simplest format that we can use to populate the question bank with multiple choice questions. So the format in which we have to type is this format. So let me just copy this again, let me, okay, so I've used the same file, doesn't matter. So I've pasted these questions over here. So now let's say I want to create a new question. So let's say question new, and then I want to provide some answers. So answers need to be provided in the same fashion, A, B, C, D, and so on. And we can provide option 1, option 2, 3, 4, so on. Fine. Okay, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And how to show the correct answer? So for showing the correct answer, we need to type answer here in capital letters. If you type small letters, it won't accept. You have to type answer in capital letters and type which option is correct. So let's say this option is correct, and this we have to type it here. Okay, and once this list of questions is ready, I'm just going to save it. I'm saving it as the same file. Okay, but this actually now contains questions. Let's type question bank. Okay, so now if you open this, you can see that it contains 3 questions, and 3 questions we need to upload it. So we'll have to come back over here, and we can easily import the questions. Fine, so we'll have to keep this aside here, this, and this particular these questions have been typed in icon format. Okay, so we'll have to choose the icon format, and we'll have to drag and drop that file over here. And when we click on import, you can see that it has identified 3 questions. It is saying that it is importing 3 questions, and when we click continue, so those 3 questions will be added here. Fine, we can see that those questions are present here. So which LMS has most important quizzes? This one, and this is the question we separately created. So all these questions have been now added. Fine, if you want to see how these questions appear, we can just go ahead and take a preview of the question, and we can see that the question is indeed appearing properly. Fine. Import format, so I think Moodle is the correct option. Let's say submit, and yes, our answer is correct. So if we now, this is the quickest and the most simplest format in which questions can be imported. Okay, but there are other formats, and each of these formats are having their own plus points as well as minus points. Okay, so let's close this and go back to the other question types and see what are the advantages of having the import in that particular format. So icon format we just now have seen. It's a very simple format, and the problem with this format is we cannot import other kinds of questions, like other question by mean the MRQs, the multiple response questions, wherein more than one question can be correct. We cannot import that. We cannot also import fill in the blanks type questions or numerical questions, match the following questions, and so on and so forth. So this is going to be suitable only for new kind of faculty members who just want to use MCQ type of questions in their courses. But if a faculty wants to use other types of questions, then gift format is actually a more preferred way to go. Let's go ahead and see the documentation of that as well. So we can just click on the question mark and click more for help. So this was the icon format documentation. You can just go through all these details to understand what and all can be added. So this is the documentation, the help file for gift format. The GIFT might be having some full form. I don't really know. I've not seen it anywhere, but it has options to upload a lot of different types of questions. So you can see there are a total of 9 different kinds of questions. that can be created by simple coding. The coding is going to be a little more complex than the icon format, but it will be possible for us to add all these questions. So first of all, let's come to the multiple choice questions. So this is how we need to type in the question. So inside the double colons, we need to insert the name of the question followed by the question itself. That should be followed by the opening flower bracket. So this defines the start of options. Okay, and for options we need not give A, B, C and D. We just have to type equal to in front of the option which is correct, and we have to type this symbol in front of the option which is wrong. Okay, so this option is wrong, fine, and this symbol is available on the keyboard on the button just below the escape key. On the top left corner there is an escape button. So just below the escape button we have this particular button for this symbol. So we have to use that with the shift key and provide the options. So here we have the first option, this is the second option, this here is the third option, this here is the fourth option, and the fifth option. So when we want to finish providing the options, we have to put a closing bracket like this here. And if we want to give a feedback for every wrong answer that the student is answering, we have to put a hashtag symbol which is available on the keyboard on the shift 3. If we keep shift button pressed and type the number 3 at the top, we will get this hashtag symbol. So after the hashtag, whatever we type will appear in the form of the feedback. So let's quickly take this, paste it again in the same okay, so we'll use the same files. We want to open it okay, edit with Notepad++. So now instead of icon format we are using the gift format. So what you see here at the top, this double slash is like a comment. Fine. So the comment will is just used for reference for the person who is uploading the questions. Fine. So this is the grant stone. Let's add one more comment. Let's try to create a different question, right? So custom question for practice, let us say. So if you want to add another question here, we have to again start by the colon. Okay, so double inverted colon, so new question, and then the question statement can be typed here. Fine. So the question statement can be any it can be as long as you wish, and that needs to be followed by the flower bracket. The flower bracket is where the options actually start. So first let us type equal to and type correct option, and then let's type this symbol, wrong option 1, and then let's go for wrong option 2, wrong option 3, wrong option 4, and so on. So as many options as you want, and type the flower bracket. And if you want to insert explanations for the feedback for the wrong answers, you can just give feedback for okay, feedback for wrong option 1. Then again hashtag, then feedback for option 2, feedback for option 3. It's not necessary for you to add feedback for every wrong answer that you're entering. You can just leave some of the options without a feedback. You can add feedback to whatever question you want to add the feedback to. And also if you want an overall feedback to be given for the question, you have to type 4 hashtags which will give the general feedback. So general feedback will be shown no matter what the student is selecting, whether he's selecting the correct option or wrong option. The general feedback will always be presented to the students, but a specific feedback for a specific option will be displayed only when that option is selected by the student. Okay, So now let's go ahead and quickly upload this question to our here. So actually, before going for uploading the question, let me go for categories. Let me create a new category for this, so that it's not going to be added to the same category. I'm going to choose default for demo and upload questions. This is the category I wish to create. Okay, so here this category is created. Let's go inside that category and now choose import. And now, because we have created our file for gift format, we have to choose that format and keep it here on the right side. Okay, we have to minimize all these things in order to see our file. Let's save the file, and you can see the file is present here. It is having all the questions in the gift format, and here we need to select the gift format option, drag and drop it over here and click on import. So now the two questions, you can see they have been imported. Let's click on continue, and when we do so, we can see that these questions have been added to a different category, the category which we created newly. Okay, so when we scroll down, we can see that the questions have been added correctly. Let's go ahead and check how the question which we created is appearing. So let's go for a preview, and you can see the question is appearing. The answers are jumbled, question statement is here, and it's appearing in very neat format. The feedbacks are not present here, but when we select an option and click on submit, this is when the feedbacks will now appear. So because this particular feedback was provided for for this option that is appearing over here, and we can see the general feedback is always appearing here. Whether he selects correct option or not, it will always appear. Let's try once again, and this time we will try for the correct option, and again let's go for submit. And you can see that for correct option we didn't provide any specific feedback, but general feedback is again presented over here. Okay, and along with the general feedback and all of the feedbacks that are presented, it will always display the correct answer value. Right? Instead of giving A, B, C and D, it will just provide us with a statement of the option which is correct. So thus you can see that the gift format is much more advanced. It's able to add the feedback values for each and every option that we want to generate, and but on the negative side, it has some coding formats which we need to strictly adhere to. Okay, so we'd have to stick to these principles, these coding formats, and if we make any error in any of these coding formats, if we insert an extra space, or if we don't type the symbol correctly, instead of typing one symbol, if we type another symbol, it's not going to be uploaded. Fine. We can also go ahead and use equations here in this question. Right. So let me copy this question, and let's say I want equation to be present here. So what is the formula for let's say, what is that? Hypotenuse. Okay, so for hypotenuse, the correct option would be square root. So SQRT of A square plus B square. So this is what I want to appear, and this I need to enclose it within this brackets. Okay, so when we do that, it's going to appear accordingly. Let us say let's provide some wrong answers as well. Let's remove the powers over here. Okay, so let's provide cube at one place. Let's provide another cube at another place, and so on and so forth. So you can see we are having all these options as the equations. Okay, so I don't want to insert all these questions once again, so let me delete it. And the comment here is questions with equations. Okay, this is not even needed actually. Even if you remove it, it's going to work perfectly. So let's save our file, and let's come back here. We'll have to close this. You can see this file is again present here. Let's open and check it quickly. We can see this question is there with the equations, and equation is typed in text format, and we again want to import it into this category. So let's go for import. Let's quickly select gift format and drag and drop this question here. Click import. So we can see one question is imported correctly because we didn't make any mistake. It was imported correctly. Let's click on continue. Scroll down to see where our question is. We can see the question is uploaded here. Let's see the preview of this. So we made some mistake. What was the mistake we made? Let's open and check it out. Let's see any mistake here. Yeah, but it is possible for us to feed the equations, but I think I made some mistake. Let's go back to the documentation and see what that mistake is. So he has not provided any equations format over here. Anyway, but rest assured, maybe there is some problem with how the equations were coded in text format. But you can refer to the internet about text coding, TEX, text coding, and you will learn about how to represent different aspects of text, and you can just implement that successfully over here. I've used this before, but I don't know why it's not working today. The equation is appearing properly, but there is some problem with why this question was not accepted as an MCQ question. Anyway, so that was about adding the multiple choice kind of question. And we have option of providing other kind of questions. Some of these examples are given here. So true or false question is very simple. You just need to provide the question name here in the double colons, followed by a statement, and then just in the flower brackets, open and close, we can just provide T or F, capital T or capital F. So this will upload the question as a true or false kind of a statement. And we have here, this is the multiple choice question. We have already seen it. So instead of having it in a different line, this is present on a single line over here like this. Then we can have fill in the blanks kind of a question, which is to be typed here in this fashion. Inside the flower brackets, we need to type equal to and then type whatever text we have over there. Then for match the following question, we need to type it here like this. Left column we need to type first, followed by this particular symbol in the same order, and then the right side symbol. Okay, and then the next equal to will start the left column again, and then the right column on the right side. Then the math equation will be like this, math range equations will be like this, and so on and so forth. Let me take all these questions as it is. Let me paste it over here and save it. Yes, and these questions we will upload here to our new category that we created. So upload questions. Let's go for import. Let's quickly open to check whether all the values are there. Yes, all these are present in the notepad. So we are uploading in GIF format. So let me quickly drag and drop it. Click on import, and we can see 8 questions have been imported, and that increases the number of questions to 11, and we can see all those questions are present here. Let us check out the preview of all these questions one by one. This question was imported wrongly, so let me just delete it. Okay, so one by one, let us see what were the questions which we uploaded. So what's between orange and green in the spectrum? So this is the question. Let's go ahead and take a look at the preview. So VGR. Okay, so that's GY. I think it's yellow. Submit. And yes, we can see the feedback is appearing properly. This is appearing properly and all is correct. Let's go for the next question. Which question was it? How are you? So let's see what this question is. I think that was a descriptive kind of a question. The descriptive question allows the student to put in the value. He can type it in. If he's using a mobile, he can talk into the mobile and the same will be typed. All these different features are now specifically available for the students to use. When he clicks on submit, the answer is going to be submitted, but of course it will need to be manually evaluated by the teacher. This is not self-evaluated question, so definitely some kind of manual valuation by the teacher is necessary when it comes to the descriptive kind of question. Let's close it and see what are the other questions loaded. So which animal eats which food? Let's see. I think this is a match the following kind of a question. Yes, it was a match the following kind of question. So cat, we are having 2 options. The cat is cat food, dog is dog food. Very simple set of options. So this way we can just upload it. So in the feedback, you can see it's displaying all the correct options, the left side, the right side. In the middle there is an arrow, and each option is separated by a comma. Okay, so this is how the correct answers will be presented to the students if you choose to do so in the quiz. Next, let's say, okay, so let's do one thing. Let's keep this notepad containing the code and our preview side by side to see how this has got generated. So Grand Storm, I think Grand Storm was not present here. No, it's not there. We had it earlier, so new question is not there. Q2, let's see the preview of this. Q2 means this question. So this question, yeah, of course we are done with this, right? Let's go for Q3, which is a fill in the blank. So let's go for Q3 here. Let's take a preview of this. So Q3 we had typed like this. So 2 plus dash equals 4. And so we can see here 2 plus has appeared here, and wherever the flower brackets were there, that is displaying the blank here, and then followed by this thing on the right side. Okay, so this is how the fill in the blanks kind of question needs to be typed for GIF format, and this is how it will be displayed. So whether I type 2 here or whether I give it TW or 2, both will be accepted as correct answers. Let's start again, and let's give it this now. Submit and finish, and you can see this is also accepted as the correct answer. So apart from that, if I give any other combination, then it won't be accepted as correct answer. So let's go back again. Let's see the preview. Start again, and this time let's give 3 as the answer and try to see if that is accepted. So you can see this is a wrong answer. It's telling it's the wrong answer. Okay, so this is how it will be displayed and it will be evaluated. Next, let's go for the question number 4. We have already seen that as well. Match the following kind of a question. Then math range question, Q5. Let's go for Q5 preview of that. We can see this is a math range type of question. So what is a number between 1 to 5? Okay, so we need a number between 2 to 5, and he's giving some value here. Let's say we insert 2, submit. Will it be accepted? Yes, it is accepted. And let's start again and try to insert 3, submit. Yes, that is also accepted as correct. What about 4? Will 4 be accepted? Yeah, 4 is also accepted. What about 5? Oh, that as well is accepted. About 6? No, 6 is not accepted. So what is this? Oh, so now I understood. Okay, so what we have to do here is we have to provide an average value, and then followed by semicolon, and that followed by plus or minus how many of this. Right, so 3 minus 2 to 3 plus 2, all these numbers will be accepted as correct answer. So 6 is 3 plus 3, which is not in one of the ranges, and hence it is marked as wrong. Actually, I have not used this format for uploading in a long time, so probably that's the reason I wasn't able to recall it. And then we have question number 6 over here. Let's see the preview of that. So sixth question is a math range specified by interval points. Right, so this is specified as a range value. Average value is given along with the range, whereas here we are giving the minimum value, the starting value, followed by dot dot and the final value. So this will behave just the same way as this particular question. And then we have translated on important is same as Q5. Okay, so this is a comment which is describing what this question will look like. So even Q6 will look the same and will also behave the same. So even if you want to check it out, you can do that. So Q5 and Q6 will appear the same. Okay, we had seen Q6 earlier, now we are seeing the Q5, and that as well appears the same. So from 2 to 4, any value we can insert. 1 to 5, we can insert any value and it will be accepted as correct. Beyond that or below that, if we submit, it won't accept them. And also, we cannot give this value here as a spelling. For example, if we start again and type in the spelling of the number 3 and submit, it won't accept that. Even though it is within the range, it will not be accepting it. So while uploading, we need to be very clear about giving an instruction to the students about what needs to be entered. And if it's a numerical value, I think it's better to add a note here followed by the question and instruct the student to add a numerical value instead of typing the spelling of that value. Okay, and then finally here we have question number 7. Multiple numeric answers with partial credit. Right, that's the kind of question. Let's go to 7th, preview it, and here it is. Right, so this is how we had uploaded the question, and there were 2 values. Right, so first, because this is a historical question, the year needs to be exactly mentioned. So 1822 is the year which we need to exactly mention. Let's submit and see what it gives. You can see he is providing us with a feedback. Correct, yeah, you are getting the full credit. We are not deviating anyway from this. After the colon, what is given is the range. So 0 range is accepted. So even when 1822.1 or 0.2 will not be accepted as the correct value. So exact value needs to be entered, only then it will be accepted as correct. And then this is followed by another equal to answer, and we are typing 50 in between the percentages, which means only 50% of the marks will be allotted if this is the range the student is predicting. That means plus or minus 2. Okay, so if let's say the student is typing in 2020, then will this be accepted as correct? You can see that this is partially correct, right? So this box, a gray colored box, will appear here, which means that it is partially correct, and the feedback that was typed afterwards is also appearing here, and the student will get to know that the actual answer is this, and he just went wrong by a few years, plus or minus, and his teacher was kind enough to give him half the credits for being close to the answer. So you can choose the same, and this is how you can use the gift format for uploading purposes. So there are many other different formats for uploading, and every new format comes with its own advantages as well as disadvantages. The advantage usually will be more control over how the question is going to be uploaded. Like for example, from icon, a comparison between icon and gift, we can say icon was able to upload into one type of question, that is multiple choice. Gift format was not only able to upload more types of questions, but also we were able to provide feedbacks, different kinds of feedbacks to the students. If we go for more advanced version, that is the Moodle XML format, this will also allow us to control the formatting of the text, the question as well as in the options. Like we can make the text bold, italics, we can insert tables, and almost everything that is possible with HTML encoding can be successfully controlled using the XML format. Apart from that, we can also control whether the correct answer is displayed to the student in the general feedback format, which of the feedbacks will be displayed, which of them will not be displayed. All these functionalities can be controlled specifically if you are going for an XML format of the upload. But of course, it comes with the biggest disadvantage being that you need to be very confidently aware of the HTML format. HTML refers to the hypertext markup language, and you need to be very thorough with not only HTML, but XML is very similar to HTML, but it has its own variations when compared to HTML, because HTML serves a slightly different purpose when compared to the XML. XML, you can say it's a more specialized, well-targeted function when it comes to the HTML. Okay, so you had already taken a glimpse, you had already had a glimpse of this XML code when I had shown you the glossary. Yeah, so the glossary was designed in XML format. Okay, so this is how complex it's going to look like, and it's much more difficult to encode it, but once you're through with this, you'll be more in control of it. And you can also always create your code generators, automatic code generators, with the help of different tools like programming languages and other stuff. Some people have already made some code generators which are available online. You can search for them, and if you get access to them, if you're able to use them conveniently, it's well and good. And that's the thing about the code generators. So I guess we are done with today's time for now. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments section after the session is ending. I hope the feedback link has been shared to you in the comments, so make use of that to provide us with your feedback. It's very valuable for us, and it will help us to give you attendance for your presence here in the seminar. So before finishing, I'd like to again remind you that this faculty development program is running on the channel LLAGT, Let's Learn and Grow Together, and this is handled by Professor Gurkesar, and my own personal YouTube channel can be reached out at this link. Right. So this is where you can reach my own channel, that is Shrikant Sundar, and I keep posting videos on engineering graphics and CAD CAM and all the different ways in which technology can be used to improve education or learning and teaching methodologies. So I hope that some of you at least will be coming to my channel and subscribing to it. And if you need to conduct any faculty development programs in your own college, just get in touch with me either in the form of a comment on one of my videos, and I will definitely get in touch with you and we can proceed to do the same. So thanks again to everyone who has come here to attend the faculty development program, and we will end the session now and see you tomorrow again at the same time. And we will be showing some demo of courses that we have already made, and also I'll be showing you a demo of all the other innovative teaching methodologies that can make learning interactive and interesting for the students. So that's it for now. Goodbye.